Imagine a financial earthquake so large it doesn't shake the ground. It shakes every bank, currency, and government on Earth at the same time. And the terrifying part, it wouldn't start in the stock market, you know. It would start deep inside a $600 trillion shadow system almost nobody understands. But every economy depends on. Picture this. It's 3 a.m. on a Tuesday morning in Manhattan. The trading floors are empty, the coffee shops are closed, but deep inside the servers of JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Deutsche Bank, something extraordinary is happening. Numbers are flowing through fiber optic cables at the speed of light. Contracts worth more than entire nations are being created, traded, and settled in milliseconds. This isn't the stock market you see on the evening news. This is something far bigger, far more complex, and far more consequential. This is the derivatives market, and it has quietly grown to a size that defies human comprehension. $600 trillion. Let that number settle in your mind for a moment. That's not 600 million, not 600 billion, but $600 trillion. To put this in perspective, the entire global economy produces roughly $100 trillion in goods and services each year. This single market is 6 times larger than everything humanity creates, builds, trades, and consumes combined. It's bigger than all the stock markets, all the bond markets, all the real estate, and all the physical assets on planet Earth. And yet, most people have never heard of it. Never. This is empire economics, where the invisible forces that shape our world finally come into focus. What you're about to discover isn't just a story about numbers on a screen. It's the tale of how brilliant minds created a financial instrument so influential, so interconnected, and so essential to the modern economy that it has become both the backbone of global finance and one of its greatest areas of vulnerability. Because while this market has enabled sophisticated risk management, it has also created a web of dependencies so complex that even small surprises can create significant ripple effects. The story begins not with computers or algorithms, but with farmers. In the wheat fields of 19th century America, a simple problem demanded an elegant solution. Farmers needed to know what price they would receive for their crops months before harvest. Buyers needed to secure future supplies without the risk of price swings. The answer was the derivative, a financial contract whose value derives from something else. A farmer could sell his wheat in March for delivery in September, locking in a price and transferring the uncertainty of market fluctuations to someone willing to bear it. What started as a handshake agreement between a farmer and a grain merchant has evolved into the most sophisticated financial ecosystem ever created. Today's derivatives don't just cover wheat and corn. They cover interest rates, currencies, credit exposure, weather patterns, and even the volatility of other derivatives. They've become the financial equivalent of the human nervous system, carrying information and redistributing risk through every corner of the global economy. But here's where the story deepens. The same innovation that allowed farmers to sleep peacefully knowing their harvest was already sold has created a market so vast and interconnected that it challenges traditional understanding of financial exposure. By the end of 2024, the notional value of this market had expanded beyond $700 trillion, with the United States representing roughly 27% of that astronomical figure. These aren't just numbers in a ledger. They represent commitments, obligations, and exposures that connect major financial institutions across continents. The mathematics alone should give us pause. When journalists report that $600 trillion figure, they're referring to what economists call notional value, the total face value of all the underlying assets these contracts reference. The actual money-changing hands is a small fraction of that amount, perhaps 2 or 3%. But even a small percentage of $600 trillion represents sums large enough to influence financial stability, if not managed carefully. To understand how we reach this point, we need to step inside the mind of a trader in the 1980s. Financial markets were simpler then, but they were also more unpredictable. Interest rates could swing dramatically, currencies could shift rapidly, and companies had fewer tools to protect themselves from these forces. The solution was elegant in its simplicity: create contracts that would provide financial protection when adverse conditions occurred. If interest rates rose and impacted your business, you could have a derivative that offset the loss. If a foreign currency fluctuated and affected your international investments, another derivative could help balance it out. This wasn't speculation. This was risk management, and it worked. Companies could take on projects they once avoided because they could hedge away the downside. International trade expanded as businesses locked in exchange rates months or years in advance. The global economy became more interconnected, more efficient, and more resilient. Or so it seemed. Because while derivatives solved old problems, they introduced new complexities. The market that began as simple insurance had evolved into something far more intricate. Derivatives were being created on top of other derivatives, forming chains of exposure that stretched across continents. Banks weren't just using these instruments to help clients manage risk. They were trading them for profit, taking positions that depended on interest rate movements or shifts in corporate creditworthiness. The turning point came in 2008, when the world discovered that this sophisticated protection system could also magnify instability under certain conditions. Credit default swaps, derivatives designed to insure against corporate defaults, had grown to a notional value of over $67 trillion. When Lehman Brothers ceased operations, the concern wasn't limited to one institution. It was the intricate web of derivative contracts that connected Lehman to hundreds of other firms around the globe. American International Group, one of the world's largest insurance companies, had sold large amounts of credit default swaps. When underlying mortgage securities lost value, AIG faced obligations that exceeded its available liquidity. The company that was intended to provide stability suddenly needed emergency support. The derivatives market, originally designed to make the system safer, revealed vulnerabilities that required coordinated policy responses to resolve. But the story doesn't end with 2008. That crisis marked the beginning of a new chapter. Rather than shrinking, the derivatives market continued to grow. By 2024, interest rate derivatives alone reached $579 trillion in notional value. Foreign exchange derivatives expanded 10% in 1 year, reaching $130 trillion. The market that once struggled under stress had become even larger and more intricate. What makes this growth concerning is not just the size, but the concentration. A small group of major banks handles the vast majority of derivative trading. Goldman Sachs processed more than 300,000 contracts across 1,200 trading desks in 2023. JP Morgan Chase and other Wall Street institutions likewise dominate the market, creating interconnected exposures that require careful oversight. Yet the most challenging aspect isn't what we know. It's what remains opaque. Unlike stocks and bonds, which trade on public exchanges, most derivatives trade in what's called the over-the-counter market. Private agreements with individualized terms, limited transparency, and risks that regulators must work diligently to understand. This is a shadow-like parallel to traditional financial markets, with exposures that exceed anything else on Earth. The regulatory response has been meaningful but incomplete. Central clearing requirements have moved many derivatives onto monitored exchanges. Transparency rules have illuminated areas once hidden from view. But difficult questions remain. How do you oversee a market whose scale is measured in hundreds of trillions of dollars? How do you regulate commitments that span continents, currencies, and time zones? How do you manage risks traded by algorithms executing thousands of transactions per second? This is the challenge facing financial regulators in 2025 as they work to understand a market that has grown beyond any single institution's field of vision. Data from the Bank for International Settlements paints a revealing picture. By the end of 2024, more than 67% of derivative transactions pass through central counterparties, massive clearinghouses that act as intermediaries. More than 35 million contracts are processed annually. Yet even with this oversight, the market value of outstanding derivatives fell 14% in just 6 months, driven primarily by shifts in US interest rate policy. Think about that. A policy decision made by a small group of economists in Washington changed the valuation of segments of a market larger than the entire global economy. $17 trillion in derivative value adjusted not because of widespread economic failure, but because the price of borrowing changed. But again, the bigger challenge lies in the areas we can't fully see. While central clearing has brought transparency to many corners of the market, vast segments still operate through bilateral agreements, private contracts, institution-specific models, interconnections so complex that even the banks involved sometimes struggle to map their full exposure. The credit default swap market illustrates this clearly. Once peaking at $67 trillion before 2008, it contracted dramatically after the crisis, falling to $7.8 trillion by 2019. But by 2022, growth resumed, reaching $9.3 trillion as institutions adapted and market use cases evolved. And so we return to that Manhattan trading floor at 3 a.m, where algorithms continue their silent choreography. The $600 trillion derivatives market isn't just a number, it's the nervous system of modern finance, capable of supporting prosperity and requiring thoughtful oversight. History shows that every financial innovation eventually faces moments of stress. The question isn't whether those moments will come, but how prepared we are to interpret them. Understanding these forces doesn't create alarm. It creates awareness. And in a world built on complex financial commitments, awareness is one of our most valuable tools. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. If you enjoy learning how history and money intertwine, subscribe to Empire Economics for more untold stories.